Okay, well, I'm gonna tell y'all my story. And kind of all started when I was 11. I was really depressed then because my mom and dad had just gotten a divorce. And I mean, as a kid, I was weird. I was different. Like, I was just myself, but nobody really understood that. But my mom and dad got a divorce, so I was going back and forth between Orange and Port Arthur, and my dad had started talking to somebody else. And it was really hard as a kid because, I mean, you don't understand that kind of stuff. Like, you don't understand your parents that have been together for so long just not loving each other anymore. You don't understand that. But um, I just was really stressed out then, and it was hard because, I mean, that's what I wanted the most is my parents together. But I understand now, like as an adult, I understand why it happened. But whenever I was in my 5th grade summer, I was going to 6th grade, my mom moved to Dayton, and she met this guy, and she fell head over heels with him, and it was hard because he was really abusive, but she loved him so much that, like, she couldn't let him go. And she got really bad into meth and really bad into drugs, and it just sucked her down, and I watched her fall apart. And it was the hardest thing to ever watch in my life, was to watch your mom fall to nothing. But my mom is going to be 7 years clean in April, and I'm really proud of her for that. Like, it's amazing. I'm so proud of her. Well, that kind of tore me apart for a while because I didn't really talk to my mom much. But going into 9th grade, that's when I started to cut. I came out my freshman year, and it was just hard because you lost a lot of friends. Like, I lost so many friends because I came out. And I don't know, like, I never thought that it would happen that way, but it did. In 10th grade year, I told my mom and my dad that I liked girls and I was dating girls, and that was kind of hard too, but I mean, they understood to an extent. My junior year was probably the hardest year for me ever. Like, we had a loss in our family, and my house just wasn't the same anymore. Like, my life changed completely. Like, the people that I looked at as my family were getting taken away pretty much, and it was hard because, like, that's what made my house so amazing, was to come home to a full house and just be happy. And after that, I got into a relationship, and it was perfect in the beginning. It made me so happy. Like, I've never been that happy in my life. I felt that way at the point, but it was perfect. It was amazing. And, in that time, I was, just not caring. I was doing whatever I wanted to do, like anything I wanted to do, and it was just wasn't me anymore. I was not Robyn. And in August of 2011, I got sent to the hospital because I tripped out on fake weed. Like, honestly, I thought I wasn't going to wake up. And honestly, at that point, I don't think I would have cared if I didn't. But I'm glad I did. I stopped caring. Like, I lost everything. I let go of my life. I let go of my family. Because I thought I was happy. Because I thought I was doing the right thing to make me happy. Like, no one in my family talked to me anymore, and I lost everybody. And it hurt really bad because the people that you're supposed to be able to count on, I let go of. So it was my fault that they couldn't have been there for me. And after that, like, everything started falling apart. My relationship kept getting worse, and when we fought, it was like brought to the next level. And like when we would break up, I would go and cut myself, or I would say like, I just don't want to be here anymore. Like, there's no point of being here. Like, I'm not happy, so what's the point? And I don't think anybody should feel that way. Like, we were toxic to each other because that's both how we would feel. Like, we would feel like there's no point if we're not together. And I don't want anybody to feel that way. Like, nobody should feel that way, ever. I found out I was pregnant on November 11th, and that was hard because I wasn't expecting it at all, and because it was just not at the right timing. Like, I was depressed. I was like diagnosed with depression, and everything just was hard at that moment, and that just made it really hard. I don't regret getting pregnant. I don't regret having my son at all, but it's hard. And throughout my pregnancy, I kept cutting, and I kept doing stupid crap that I should have never done. Like, so my mom was worried because if you cut, you can get infections, and she was really worried that I would cut and it would get infected and hurt my baby. So we went to the doctor, and my doctor told me, you have a baby inside of you. Like, you have to worry about that baby. You have a baby. There's a baby in there, and it could hurt that baby. And I mean, that's true. I did need to worry about my son, and I did need to think about him and not myself. But I didn't do that. I thought about myself, and I thought about my relationship, and I thought about everything else that I shouldn't have been thinking about. It should have been about that baby. So he told me, when you're sad, write a letter. Write to that person that makes you feel that way. Just write. Write to throw it away. Write to burn it. Write to keep it. Whatever you want to do, just write. Write how you feel. So I did. I wrote letters upon letters upon letters, and I would read it sometimes to them, or I would give it to them, or I would burn it, or I would tear it to pieces, or I would throw it away, or I would just keep it. It was easier to, it was like talking to somebody that understood where you were coming from. So that kind of helped. And then he told me, maybe you need to go talk to a psychiatrist. Maybe you need to go do this, because they couldn't put me on medicine while I was pregnant because they were already worried, So I was like, so I went and talked to a psychiatrist for a while. And one day he told me he wanted me to write to myself as if I was my best friend writing to me. So I thought, this is stupid. Like, this isn't going to help me. Why is he telling me to do this? This isn't going to be something that helps me. So I was laying in bed writing this letter, and to put yourself in your best friend's mindset is hard. So I sat there for a while, and when I started to write this letter, it opened my eyes more and more the more I kept writing. I wouldn't want to know that my friend is trying to commit suicide, or that my friend is trying to not be on this world anymore. Like, I wouldn't want to know that my friend is feeling so low that death is a better option than being here. Like, how could you handle knowing that your best friend, someone you've known for years, wants to be gone? Like, how could I feel this way? Like, I don't understand. Like, nobody should feel that way, right? Because I didn't understand how that I felt this way. Like, I have a life, and I have a baby, and I felt this low, and it hurt, and it really hurt, because what if I told my best friend how I really did feel? What if I told my best friend that I was trying to do all this stuff? Would she still be my best friend? Because I didn't tell people I was cutting myself. My mom knew, my sister knew, my girlfriend knew, but that's about it. I'm so scared to be judged that I will be the best person at pretending to be happy. And it's hard because I don't want to pretend. I want to be happy. So after I wrote that letter, it made me think, like, I could lose my best friend because of this. I could lose my everything. I could lose everybody, and I don't want to lose everybody. So after that, I slowed down, I stopped. I would cut every now and then, but it wouldn't be as bad because I kept trying to stop. I wanted to get help. I really did. I wanted to stop doing all this. So, on July 19th, 2012, at 2:53 in the morning, I gave birth to the most beautiful baby. And his name's Christian Michael. That was the happiest day of my entire life. Like, I've never thought that something could make me so happy that put me through so much pain. Like, I was in labor for 13 hours, and those 13 hours were the best part of my life. Like, the happiest I've ever been. And after that, I knew I needed to change. And I tried so hard. But I kept that relationship. I tried so hard to keep that relationship with that girl because I loved her. And on October 16th, 2012, I hit rock bottom. I hit so hard that I didn't care. Nothing mattered anymore. Nothing. I took 10 hydrocodone pills and 4 800 milligram pills, and altogether that night I took like 6,700 and something milligrams of pills. And I just remember laying in bed and not caring if I woke up and praying that God would forgive me. But I just couldn't handle it anymore. I was crying and crying, and it's hard to think that you would even want to die. And it's hard for some people to understand the feeling of wanting to die. But I just remember laying there and I felt so cold and my body was hurting so bad. And I just felt everything like it was about to stop. Like everything was about to stop working. Everything in my body was just about to quit. And it's like somebody shoved their finger down my throat and I threw everything up out of nowhere. Split second. And it was like at that moment, like I was that close to death. I cheated death that close. And I was done. I needed to be done. Like I knew in my heart and in my mind that I needed to be like done with her. So I left. And I moved to my sister's in Beaumont. And I told myself everything is gonna get better. I told my sister you have to help me make myself better. Please just make myself better. Like I need help to help me be okay. And she was like, I'll help you any way you need. Like that's my best friend. Like my sister is one of my best friends. Like I could come to her with anything and she won't judge me. So, I was doing really good. And then she came back into my life and she said, I promise baby I'll change. I promise everything will be different. I'm not going to act this way. I'll do whatever it takes. And I believed her. And then it was okay for a little bit. And then on November in 2012, I got sent to the hospital for cutting. And I had bruises on me. I just was tired. I'm tired. I was so tired of this. I just wanted to die. I just wanted to be gone. Like I did not want to wake up another day to be sad. And I was at that point where if I didn't wake up and I wasn't here anymore, that everything would be okay. That my son would be better off without me. And that, my life did not matter anymore. And that was the hardest point of my life because I wanted to die. I wanted not to be here anymore. And after that, I got sent to another hospital. And they told me if I had any more attempts at doing this, that I would be put under suicide watch, and I would be put in a hospital, and they would watch me every day. And I didn't want that. Like, I didn't want that for myself. So after that, I was done. I didn't want to do this. I didn't want to feel this way. Like, I wanted to change. I want to be better for myself. I want to be better for my son. I want to be better for my family, my little sister. Like, all these attempts, clearly there's a reason that I need to be here. Like, no matter what, that I have a reason. I have a reason to be here. I have a reason to live. And that's the crazy part about it, is like, nobody understands how you can feel this way that hasn't felt this way before. Nobody can put themselves in your shoes because they haven't walked in your life. Like, I have slip-ups. I have moments where I feel like I just need to do it because I'm so upset, but during those slip-ups, I'll go wake my sister up and say, listen, I need to talk to you. I need somebody here. I need somebody that's going to listen to me and that's not going to judge me. And that if I cry, isn't going to say that, you know, you're a crybaby because you can't handle this. No, that's not what she'll do. Like, I'm strong, and I know I'm strong, but I've been strong for so long, and I can't be strong anymore. Sometimes I just need to break. And with my sister, she'll be there for me to break. She'll listen to everything I have to say, and she'll tell me, you know, everything's going to get better. Like, you're here for a reason. Like, you have a son who loves you, and every time you see him, you smile. Like, you're an amazing mom. Like, that's what I want. Like, I want to be here for him, and that's why I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to have attempts. I don't want to have thoughts. I don't want to have any of it. I want to be happy. I want to look into the mirror and say, I'm happy. Like, this is Robyn, and I am happy. Like, I want Robyn back. The Robyn that didn't ever try to do this. Like, that was happy. Like, I have a reason to be here. And I made this video because I want you to know my story. I want you to know where I'm coming from. And I want to know your story. I want to know where you're coming from. I want to understand why you feel this way, because I can't say I understand if I haven't walked in your shoes. I know what it's like to be at your lowest point, and I know what it's like to feel not accepted, and I know what it's like to be judged, and I know what it's like to be called every name in the book, and I know what it's like to just feel like you do not want to be here. And it sucks. It's the worst feeling that you can ever feel in your life. Like, nobody can make it better. Nobody could understand the way you feel until they've been at that point. But I have. I've been at that point. And I know how it feels. It makes you feel like you don't deserve to be here. Like, there's no reason to be here. Nobody should feel that way. So I made this video because I want everyone to know that I want to know your story. I want to know how you feel. And I hope that you won't judge me, because I'm not going to judge you. And I hope that you can accept me, because I'll accept you. And I just want everyone to know that this was really hard for me to do. But maybe this will help somebody else. Maybe I can help save a life, or maybe I can help save somebody, or change somebody, or make them see that it's not okay to talk to somebody the way that people talk to people, that really does hurt. Maybe people will open their eyes and see that suicide and being bullied and everything else is a plague, and it's going around this world, and it's killing people, and it's really hurting people. But I just want to leave you on one note. I just want you all to remember this.